we explore one of America's most haunted ships, the Queen Mary.
Do you guys have anything to say?
I'm fucking scared.
Here we go.
Ghosts.
It's your boy. Wow.
But I feel like getting on my nerves.
Hey, I'm the camera person for tonight. Allison and Maddie are just going to the bathroom, so I'm trying to get a video before they start peeing. Hey. I don't know.
I'm thinking we might see some orbs, maybe some cold spots. I'm up for ghosts. The scariest thing I'm expecting on this tour is that fucking doll.
Shit, I didn't even notice that.
If I wear you out, at least wave goodbye so I know you're leaving of your own accord and you weren't dragged off by an evil spirit. Every time we stop walking, I'm going to tell you a ghost story. Now, I'll be clear that these are not my ghost stories because I don't have any ghost stories. They are the stories that were told to us by passengers and crew. Whether or not you believe in the paranormal, I am going to give you just enough history so the stories at least make sense in reference to the ship. Describing in there and what I'm about to describe out here are what parapsychologists or professional ghost hunters call a residual haunting. Now, what you see in Hollywood, those are conscious hauntings, where it's clearly the spirit of a dead person messing with the living. In the case of a residual haunting, the idea is that we're all energy. As you move through time and space, you leave that energy behind, kind of like a footprint. So think of it as the ship showing you its memories. At one point, there was a woman hanging out in the Mauritania room. The ship recorded that and just plays it on a loop. Same out here. I have no concept of time anymore, so I forget exactly when this happened. But it was a couple of years ago. One of our engineers at Roubaix was walking along main deck. He was on his cell phone like a good employee. He noticed some kind of movement ahead of him. So he looked up from his phone and saw a young boy that he guessed to be around 10 years old walking towards him. Thought that was strange because he was working the graveyard shift. It was 2 a.m. and there were no other adults around. Roubaix stopped walking, but the little boy kept coming closer to him, and he told us once the kid was close enough, he was planning on asking him what he was doing out of bed, but the words caught in his throat when he realized he could see through the boy to the wall on the other side. Right, this one?
I don't like this at all.
I don't like this.
I'm so scared.
Darker and darker. Oh, there's the pig.
I don't like this at all, even though I know it's fake.
Where's the pilot heads?
There's some back
Oh,
there.
were we supposed to go right at the pig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, there's a head, so.
There was an option.
Help!
No,
No, past the pig.
I don't trust
Help!
Ah.
Just keep going.
What? I
It's fine.
Where's the pilot?
don't. Wait,
There's
yeah.
a head.
There's a single head.
Should we?
Oh yeah, so that's the head, right? I think.
Well, there's another head
That's a
here.
head.
Oh, wait, he's here. Okay, cool.
And that's our guy.
It's rumored that during World War II, prisoners of war were kept in the cargo hold and may have died from heat exhaustion or a failed escape attempt, where they're climbing up the ladder, the Queen Mary hits a wave, and they fall back down. We have received reports during our paranormal ship walk tour, which is just the extended nighttime version of this. The guests will be standing around here, they look down, they think they see faces looking back up, they hear unintelligible whispers, or they feel cold hands grabbing at their ankles. Now, I don't want to dismiss any paranormal theories on this tour, but everything that I've read and been told by historians says the prisoners of war were kept at the back of the ship. So the reason I bring ghost tours in here has absolutely nothing to do with the cargo hold, and everything to do with the bow. This is as close as we can get to the bow inside the ship. It was the site of an horrific accident during World War II. As I said, the Queen Mary was the fastest ship in her day. There was nothing on the water that could keep up with her, which is bringing the soldiers back and forth. She was mostly on her own. There would be a small military escort of destroyers and cruisers to see her a few miles out of New York, second military escort waiting off the coast of Ireland to bring her safely into Scotland. But for all the time in between, she had to rely on her speed and a zigzag cruising pattern. The zigzag was to avoid torpedoes. There was no such thing as missile lock in the 1940s. If the U-boats wanted to shoot something, they had to fully surface, line up their shot, and hope whatever they were shooting at didn't move, because the torpedo only goes one way. To avoid being sunk, the Queen Mary would change direction every couple of minutes. Once they arrived in Ireland, they would call out to the surrounding military support and tell them which zigzag pattern they were using, and they would do a countdown for each turn. October 2nd, 1942, off the coast of Northern Ireland, there was a collision between the Queen Mary and one of her escorts, the HMS Curaçao. The HMS Curaçao was a 4,000-ton cruiser. The Queen Mary, an 81,000-ton ocean liner. They were in the last 30 seconds of their countdown before the Queen Mary was supposed to turn again to port, and the Curaçao kept drifting closer and closer to the Queen Mary's starboard side. In the last 10 seconds, a wave struck the port side of the Queen Mary, shoved her in line with the Curaçao, and the Queen Mary cut the Curaçao in half. In less than a minute, both halves were engulfed in flames. 5 minutes after that, the Curaçao was lost beneath the Atlantic Ocean. There were 101 survivors picked up by other members of the military escort, but we now get reports from our engineering crew that late at night, or even if it's just quiet enough, they can hear shouting in the bow, like something has gone horribly wrong. Parapsychologists think that's the 338 sailors who didn't make it, reliving the accident over and over again. So the bow is probably the most concentrated area of paranormal energy.
I'm sorry, am I Jennifer Miller?
And for right now, this mystery will remain unsolved.
Oh!
This video. Hi. Maybe you want to move in the middle.
I'm a what?
Maddie. Maddie. Matt. Oh fuck. Maddie.
Highway to the danger zone.
I was out in the calm side in January in my kayak, and one jumped right over my head.
Up to you, my lady. No, she's not talking to me.
Oh my god, you look like your dad! You look like your dad!